We're rolling. Good afternoon, Captain Thomas. Welcome you to Los Angeles for Los Angeles Fleet Week. I'm here for the Media Day event, and I asked to speak to an aviator. And what did I get? I got the captain of the ship. So it's very exciting to have this opportunity to talk to you, sir. So if you wouldn't mind just quickly introducing yourself and a little bit about what you're doing here, and maybe a little bit about your aviation career. We can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure thing. Hey, first off, welcome aboard USS Carl Vinson. So glad to be up here for LA Fleet Week. This is my second time up here. I was here 2 years ago as I brought one of our amphibious ships. But this week I'm up here with 3,000 sailors on board who are super excited to show off the ship, show off their Navy to everyone, the people from Los Angeles, and then certainly experience all that LA has to offer. So super excited to be here. You're right, you asked for an aviator and you got one of them. Interestingly enough, for our aircraft carriers, we are all aviators, whether we're pilots or naval flight officers. It's a requirement to be an aviator. You got to understand what goes on as those aircraft launch off the ship and then land aboard the ship, but also have to know how to drive the ship and operate all that goes into a 100,000-ton warship. So I still get the opportunity to fly, not as much as I used to when I was a more junior officer, but I still fly about once a week. I fly the E-2 Hawkeye. That's our airborne early warning aircraft, twin engine turboprop with a radar dish on top. So gets me airborne. I still love to fly, and then the opportunity for me to experience how the ship operates and how our sailors are doing from a different perspective than I see when I'm up on the bridge managing everything up there.
Very good. Is it true that you flew in the Hawkeye we have here on deck to this event, or onto the carrier?
I didn't fly it aboard here for LA Fleet Week. But I have flown it plenty of times previously.
Oh, very good. And you're telling me you'd flown the Hornets too before?
I have in
aircraft you've flown.
Yes. So one of my previous tours, when I was a number of years ago, I was the landing signals officer for the air wing, and those landing signals officers, it's kind of an additional duty to just being a pilot, and they ensure that when the pilots land that they're safe. That's their primary job, and so in that capacity, making sure all the pilots landed safely, then I still flew the E-2 Hawkeye, and then so that I could better understand the differences between the aircraft, I qualified in the Super Hornet as well, so I flew both of them during that tour. So pretty unique opportunity.
Yeah, is there something in the future to replace the Hawkeye by chance? I know the Greyhound was, possibly being taken off service, and now with Osprey it might be coming back a little bit more. You could talk about that if you want, but I'm curious about the Hawkeye, if there's something in the future for carriers for the Hawkeye, or if you see that going well into the future.
Right now the Hawkeye is going to go well into the future. So the fleet is finalizing their transition from the E-2 Charlie to the E-2 Delta version. So this is the advanced Hawkeye, and so it will stay and remain in the fleet for quite a number of years.
Very good. Do you miss having the Greyhound, the C2?
The CMB-22 is a great capability and kind of a unique way that it can integrate into our operations here on board the carrier. E2s and C2s are very much, we're close cousins. All right, we do a lot of training together. Those two airframes are built on basically the same platform. So it does bring me a little bit of sadness to see those C2s ultimately be sundown. But the CMB-22 is a great capability that we have in the fleet.
Yeah, is one of the main, I understand one of the main characteristics of the Osprey coming on is it that it can take a F-35 engine? Did I hear that correctly? Is that one of the, why it was built a little different than previous Ospreys?
It can, yeah. That's one of the great capabilities that it has. In addition to being able, vertical takeoff and landing, it can help with bringing those logistics, including the F-35 engine on board.
Very good. Can you just talk a little bit about when you're going out to sea and the type of aircraft you would have on board and the amount or whatever you can talk about for security reasons? Anything you can talk about what you would take out to sea with a full complement or whatever you would call that?
So when we embark, the ship's company itself, we got, this ship and 3,000 sailors. And then when our embarked air wing comes aboard, they bring another 1,800 sailors, and then there's 75 to 80 aircraft. And all of our air wings are configured a little bit differently, but in general, we have about 40 strike fighter aircraft. And so that would be a mix of Super Hornets and Joint Strike Fighters. The Joint Strike Fighter for the Navy is just getting integrated into the fleet as we stand up more and more squadrons, which is a unique capability here on board Carl Vinson, that we do have the Joint Strike Fighter. In addition to those strike fighters, we also have our EA-18G Growler electronic attack aircraft. We have a number of E-2D Hawkeyes, 5 of those typically, and then we also have our helicopters. So we have the Sierra, which does a lot of our combat search and rescue or plane guard, and then we also have the H-60 Romeo that does more of our ASW, anti-submarine warfare, and some of those other mission sets. And then finally, again, we have our carrier onboard delivery with the CMV-22s.
Very good. I don't know if you mentioned 35s, F-35s. Have those been integrated into the aircraft carrier?
Yes, yeah, those are the
those are in the near future.
Yeah, so those are that is the Joint Strike Fighter.
Okay.
Here on board Carl Vinson, we did have one squadron of Joint Strike Fighters that we deployed with. So there's a couple of them as we integrate them more and more into the fleet and into our air wings.
Well, very good. Is there anything else? I don't want to take too much of your time, sir.
Sure.
Captain Thomas, I really appreciate your time. Is there anything else about your aviation career you'd like to talk about? One of the most memorable things in your aviation career, or anything really aviation oriented? Because most of the people who will be watching this, at least a lot of the friends of mine who are aviation photographers and enthusiasts, would be very interested in that.
Oh yeah, I have loved being a pilot, and I am so fortunate that even after being a captain and 27 years, that I still get to fly. That being said, it is an awesome privilege and responsibility to both still be able to fly, but to command one of these great warships and see the entire air wing and ship come together to provide that capability as we deploy.
One last thing that comes to mind is when you're taking off on this carrier, on your carrier, is there anything in particular the crew does, or anything about that moment, or is it just like another person taking off in an aircraft?
I don't think there's anything. I'm sure that they are aware that I'm in the aircraft as I taxi off. I can't go too many places around the ship and they're not aware that the captain is there. But we have our standard, just normal procedures that we go through day to day, and it doesn't matter if you're the captain of the ship or the newest reporting JO. We have those standardized procedures so that there's no miscommunications as we're out there flying. The only probably unique thing for me when I go flying, so as senior officers come and go from the ship, a Navy tradition is that you ring on or ring off the captain when I come and go from the ship. Now that's typically when I walk off the brow, when we're pier side, but they also ring me off when I go fly. So as I go up to the catapult and I get launched off the bow, the sailors will, they on the bell that is heard all throughout the ship, the 4 bells, ding, 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 Carl Vinson departing, and then I go out and fly the mission, come back, land on the ship, then they have to ring back my arrival. So as soon as I trap, make the arrestment, you hear the same ding, 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 and this time then it's Carl Vinson arriving. So, but probably the only unique thing when I'm out there flying.
Okay, and then that must be the unique feeling that you have landing on your own ship too. There must be something, how you feel like you're landing on, this aircraft carrier that you command with, the thousands of troops on it, soldiers and aviators. That must be an interesting feeling, a great feeling.
It is a great feeling to launch off the ship, fly around, and then come back and see the crew. You know, when I'm up on the bridge, I see the crew do their thing, catch the aircraft, park the aircraft, refuel the aircraft, and get them ready to go to launch. So I see that from the bridge just day to day. When I'm then flying, then I'm a part of that. So I get to see our flight deck crews from a different perspective, and that's immense amount of pride. They have a lot of pride in what they do, and they do it excellently and professionally.
Well, very good. Anything you'd like to add? I really don't want to take any more of your time. I'm very honored to speak with you. Anything you'd like to add to the people coming to Fleet Week, or just anything you think we may have missed?
Well, everyone come down here to USS Carl Vinson down here in San Pedro. See LA Fleet Week. Come on board. Engage with our sailors, talk with them. Okay, they are proud of what they do. They all have very unique jobs that they do to make this warship come alive. So see the ship, talk with sailors. We'd love to have you down here.
Very good. Thank you, sir. If you don't mind, I'm going to just hop into frame and shake your hand, and then I'll let you be on your way and command this vessel. Thank you very much, sir. It's been my honor and my privilege to meet you and to speak with you today. So thank you for your time, and enjoy your time. Have your whole crew enjoy your time here in Los Angeles.
Okay.
All right.
Great to chat with you.
Nice to talk to you. Take care.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Appreciate it, sir. I'm going to give you one of my cards here, too. And feel free to let anybody check my Facebook page on what I'm posting, or YouTube or whatever, and make sure there's nothing I'm posting on there that I shouldn't. Because I'm very concerned about OPSEC, and I don't want to do anything at all that's, it's not legit.
No.
So, thank you for that.
Yeah, don't forget, I was like, ooh.
I know, I've already lost a transmitter once, and you got to pay $100 for the whole set just because there's a transmitter on my cell phone here. So it's
they're all
so I got this and that and that.
Okay.
Hopefully it was working while we were talking.
Yes, hopefully, right?
Yeah, I think if it didn't, I don't know what I did wrong, but I think it'll be fine. All right, well, thank you, sir. Maybe I'll see you at some of the events.
Yes.
I'll be at the Banning House.
I will be there tomorrow, yes.
Listening to the bands and talking to people, so maybe I'll see you there. If you think of anything I can do for you or any of your crew, please let me know, okay?
Yeah,
I'm happy to.
Great.
All right, great. Thank you, sir. All right, I enjoyed it as much as you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Oh, and I don't want this.
You don't want that one? You sure?
I don't really want this one.
No.
Just kidding.